Good morning. It's Monday morning, November 28th, and I wanted to go ahead and preview week 15 with you. Your final reflection. The whole thing is due December 12th, so you have several weeks to do it, but it's kind of a complex project, so I'm breaking it up into two parts. One that's due this week on December 6th, and then the last part that is due December 12th. So I wanted to walk you through that this morning. Here it is, week 15. And this is the way it's displayed on your computer. So it's the final reflection, part one. So the overall plan is that I want to understand how this course has changed your thinking about education, including students with special needs, probably foremost students with special needs. How is the information that you've gathered, the content, and your thinking, how has it changed over the course of the semester? And there's ways to do that. And one of the ways is to look at something I call artifacts, something that you have done throughout the course. So for example, your first artifact might be the reflection you did in week 2. So you can look at that and then reflect back on your thinking now. You can look at the discussions that you've participated in, things both that you have done and that other students have done as well. Looking on the closed Facebook page, there's lots of good content there. You can see how other people have that. Has that changed your feelings or your ideas around education? So let's get organized. So Quest 15, I saw that's going up a lot in the Facebook group. What do you do when you want to quit? Please post that in Facebook. Now, part one. First, you need to brainstorm your ideas. How has this course changed your thinking about education, including students with special needs? And I have an attached brainstorming sheet you can use, but you don't have to. And then step 2, start thinking about what artifacts you can use to demonstrate your thinking. So I've made a table for that too. This is just the way that I would think of it. You can use these or come up with your own. You just need to show me what you're thinking about. So step 3 is how do we put this together to demonstrate your thinking so that I can see what you're thinking and how you got there, and that you can understand that as well. Ask for help early on, and someone already asked for help this morning in an email, and I got right back to her, which I was able to use that information to make this recording. I want to be sure I can do that for next week's recording too. So let's look at, if you click right on here, your final project and brainstorming activity. It looks like this. Move it over here a little bit. This is a Word document. So it's a document that I just created in Word. And the way that I got all of that to come up, it's kind of cool. I'll do another one right here. So you go down. You click on Smart Art right at the top here. And when you click on it, all of these different designs come up. So let's see, let's try doing this one, the cycle one, and I have lots of options here. I will pick that, and it should pop up. There it is. So now I can decide what to write in it because it pops up with the text waiting to be filled. So let's say if I were thinking of something along education, let's say I'm thinking about inclusion. So I type that in there. Oh, I have a visitor today. Very wild kitten. She's kind of tacky. Her name's Millie. She's my husband's cat. So, and so that I can write inclusion there. And then let's say I think about inclusion has led me to think of meeting the needs of all learners. Okay? That usually reminds me of universal design for learning. Which makes me think of making content available to all students. So if you have content and you want it available to all the students, how are you going to do that? How are you going to represent that information in a variety of ways? You can have it written, you can have video, you're going to have it in English, you're going to have it in Spanish. So then I think of how do I know what people know? So I think of offering multiple ways for people to show me what they know. And this might help me start thinking about how I feel about education and this course and what I've learned. So it's pretty easy, and that's what I did right there. Same kind of thing. So those are two examples. Now, for your artifacts, I need to know what you're using and why you're using it. So you may want to use a table like this that says maybe the name of the artifact, how does this demonstrate my thinking, and how does this demonstrate how my thinking has changed. So I used an example, the week 2 reflection. So that might be the artifact that I'm thinking of. And it demonstrates my thinking because I thought I understood what special education was when I was doing my reflection that first time. So that's great. Another example that I thought I might use was the graphic organizer for co-teaching. And this might demonstrate that my thinking has changed because I learned that 2 teachers in the classroom can help all the students feel included. So just go ahead and write down a lot of artifacts because you're going to need a lot for this project. So this is step 1, getting it organized. As you get it into me, I will look at them as they come in. I will let you know if I think you're on the right track by telling you, you're on the right track, this looks good, move on to the next step. Or I would say, you're not. You need either more artifacts or you need a different way to demonstrate what you're thinking about how you've changed. And it doesn't have to stay the same. For your final project, you may find your thinking you may decide to highlight another way that your thinking has changed, or you may decide not to use all those artifacts or just to use some of them. So don't worry that you are locked into that. All right, first step, let's get that together. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.